Welcome to the Mr. Skin Podcast, your weekly dose of what's new and what's nude in movies, TV, and Hollywood's sexiest stars. Now get ready for your host, the world's foremost authority on celebrity nudity, Mr. Skin.
The legendary Mr. Skin.
Mr. Skin. Dude, Mr. Skin.
MrSkin.com.
Skin, everybody.
Coast to coast from Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York, it's the Mr. Skin Podcast with your hosts, Mr. Skin and Andrea Lowell. We want to hear from you. Call the show and leave us a voicemail at 484-SKIN-POD. Find all things Mr. Skin Podcast online at MrSkinPodcast.com.
Welcome to the Mr. Skin Podcast, sponsored by VRPornsites.xxx, the biggest and best list of virtual reality porn sites on the web. VRPornsites.xxx is run by our favorite sex site concierge, Paul, who has spent countless hours combing through virtual reality porn sites and picking out the best for the rest of us. Welcome to the show. It is the Mr. Skin Podcast, and if you're hearing some hustle and bustle, that's because we're at AVN 2018 in Vegas.
Yeah, and if you're hearing some hustle, we're next door to Hustler's booth.
Dude, what aren't we next to?
I know.
I mean, we'll get into it. Me and Skin, we've only been here a short while, and just to give you a taste, we've got up close and personal with some 32J natural titties.
I still say they got to be 36s or 38s or 42s. They were so big.
Dude, we'll get into it. We'll definitely get into it. But to our left is a stripper pole with a myriad of porn stars and exotic dancers dropping it like it's hot. We have some girl stuff going on in front of us, and we have tons of cam stars from cherry pimps, porn stars, stream it. We've got it all.
And look what someone just put in my hand.
Someone just put a titty in your hand. It's like, where am I? Bizarro world? It's like fantasies are a reality here. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's Andrea, this is the 19th year I've been to AVN.
You're an animal. You know, I don't know how you
in
do
a
it.
row.
I know, because it's like every time I leave here, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted.
Yeah.
So much tits, so much ass. I need to just decompress. And you do it year after year after year after year.
Let me tell you, it's a little different now. My first 4 or 5 years, I was the guy staying up till 5 in the morning at the parties.
Yep.
Going to the craziest parties, the clubs and stuff. Now
I laugh because I know what goes
I'm
on.
already thinking, all right, dinner at 8:15. What time could I be in bed? I mean, it's different. It's a little different.
It's different. Yeah, it's like I have some reservations about coming to Vegas. I've done some crazy shit in Vegas. I've done shit in Vegas that would make these porn stars blush.
Yes, I know.
I mean, at one end of the spectrum, I eloped in Vegas, so we have like some happy, joyous, fun times. But then on the other hand, you know, without outing myself, I mean, orgies, illicit parties with so much going on that it's just like, how am I still standing? So when I'm told like, oh, we're going to go to Vegas, part of me is like, oh, fuck, can I handle Vegas?
Yeah.
But the truth is, because we're here, we're working, and our job is really fun.
It is. And I got to say, as I sit here, there's a line in front of us.
Oh my God, this is the longest it's been.
It's a line. Who is this? Is this the Cherry Pimps? Yeah, I mean, there's a line. It must be a block long to go see the girls from Cherry Pimps. And, you know, you sit here at this show and you see the enthusiasm. You see these guys all bringing their cameras, their pens. They want the autographs of the porn stars and the cam girls.
They've flown in from all over the world.
All over.
Like, these aren't Vegas
Not just
locals.
United States, by the way.
Yeah, these are diehards. These are guys who either have a favorite adult star or a favorite cam girl, and they have made it their mission. I have, let's say, one vacation a year. I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet my online girlfriend, and they're fucking no joke, man.
No, it's great. And it's funny, we were talking earlier that, like, you see where the guys are nervous, you know, when they're walking up to the booth. They don't know how to, because now they have to actually see him in person.
I mean, look at this guy right here in the red. He's swaying back and forth.
Yeah.
He's pretending to dance to the music.
Yeah.
But the fact is, he's nervous as fuck, bobbing his head like that. It's like, oh my God, I just got an inch closer. I just got an inch closer.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I've already
it's
done.
So sweet.
You know, as much as I've come here, I still have to be the guy that sends pictures to his friends.
Yeah.
So we took a picture with this girl.
Okay, let's talk about her now. This is a perfect time to talk about her.
Her name is Kimmy Kaboom.
I mean, stop, drop, kaboom, baby rub on your nipples. Like that.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so she's a BB dub. She's got dark blonde hair. Really pretty.
Really pretty. And a cute accent, too, from the South.
I couldn't decipher where it was from.
It's a Florida accent.
Florida.
Yeah.
She's a doll, and she's a cam star, and we had the pleasure of talking to her. And she comes up to our booth to do a little interview with us.
It was funny because she had pasties, but her pasties were as big as Frisbees.
Fuck yeah, they were.
They were only covering like her nips, but
her areola was still peeking out.
But those were real, and she could do
real.
what is that called when you can move your boobs?
She could do titty tricks. She was flexing her pectoral muscles and bouncing her boobs, and they were real. And I have never seen any girl, myself included, and I've tried to bounce the boobs with real boobs, because
those are heavy.
Skin, I work out. I fucking work out.
You do.
And I bench and I do all this stuff. I can do plyo push-ups and all this crazy stuff. I can't make my titties bounce. So it's like
well, you got firm boobies.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe that's a secret to it too. Maybe if your boobs hang low, they're more they're more apt to be lifted.
But think about,
I don't know.
We were estimating
12 and a half
pounds
per
each.
titty. Yeah.
Per tata.
Per tata.
So, and then she was really cool because first Andrea was sitting next to her and she said, and she was very polite. She said, "Can I touch them?" And she said, "Sure." So Andrea was fondling them. So I had I had to touch Andrea's arm to see if I could get like the vibe through her.
You got it through osmosis.
So I was not going to be as much as I wanted to feel them, I was being.
You were a true gentleman.
So then we did pictures at the end of our interview, and we stood up in front of our my Mr. Skin step and repeat. And she said, "Well, you put your hands on my boobs." So I got to touch those things. I mean, that was a treat. For a boob guy like me, Andrea, that was a treat.
And wasn't it exactly as I described? They were heavy. They were firm. It's like a lot of times, there's a lot of variety with boobs. Sometimes you get a big, huge boob and it's just fat and it's real squishy.
Hers were heavy.
Had mammary glands up the yin
heavy hangers.
Yeah.
So, and then what was really cool, then at the end I was saying goodbye to her and she said, "Listen, I'm a big fan of yours." And I'm like,
I
said,
know that.
"What?" So I go on a radio show every Monday called Lex and Terry.
Cool.
They're syndicated around the country. And where she lives in Florida, she's been listening to them forever. She's a big fan of their show.
Awesome. Local radio.
Yeah, I'm on every Monday morning at 7 on their show to talk about, what's new in movies and television. And she's been a big fan. So not only did she let me feel her boobs, she's a big fan of what I do. So it was a special day.
I feel like that's all you need to make your AVN complete. Like you can now leave.
I'm like a little kid. Well, and then, here I am, a suburban dad, with kids. I already sent it to some of the other suburban dads, like, the picture of me feeling her boobs. So they're all excited. They've already been texting me back.
I mean, these boobs were so spectacular, guys, that me and Skin actually took a picture of them together that we would like to have posted on our
agree.
Mr. Skin podcast website.
So I would just say, just go. It's Kimmy Kaboom. It's Kimmie Kaboom.
She's not paying us, by the way.
No, go Google this girl. She was awesome. Great. And she had a great personality. She's very successful cammer.
Yeah, and we've talked to so many cam girls, and you and I have really been talking, and we've talked about this on the podcast week after week. The landscape of adult has shifted so dramatically. The girls we once knew as porn stars back in the 90s, the 2000s, are actually transitioning to camming because that's where it's at.
It's where the money's at, to be honest.
It's where the money's at.
And think about it. Compare the two worlds. So in the old days, in the 90s, early 90s, you're a porn star.
Yep.
You had to go to you had to go to clubs to make money,
and
right?
And do feature dancing.
And then, of course, you did you'd go on location and film your movies.
Right.
Now you're a woman, maybe you have a couple kids, you're trying to make a buck, you're beautiful, you set up shop in your house, you become part of a camming community.
Yeah.
You're starting to make an instant dough. You don't have to leave. You could still pick your kid up at school at 3:30.
Yeah.
How fucking great is that in comparison? And I'm telling you, the traffic to those websites. I remember going, and the first time I looked at a cam site, I would go, I forget which one, but I went, and there must have been, 250 windows, right?
Yeah.
So I'm scrolling down.
You mean that pop up and open when you click
just
on I'm joking.
Yeah, right. 250 windows. So I'm scrolling down. I'm down pages and pages and pages, and I just randomly picked one. Probably someone with big boobs. So I randomly picked one, and I look. There's 35 guys sitting in the room, right?
Damn.
But my point is the amount of traffic these websites get. So these girls, and a lot of them are free, and then to maybe to see a little more or to get a private conversation or some intimacy, you pay up or you tip, and that's how the girls make money. And I'm telling you, by looking at the crowds here, these girls are making a hell of a lot of money.
No, it's insane, and it's very interesting because the dynamic between the fan and the star has also changed. Because instead of going to a skeevy DVD rental place, or I'm sorry, a VHS rental place, and watching a video and having a crush on the girl, now you're actually having with a cam star an intimate relationship in a way where it's completely different, where you have instant access to these girls and you're actually forming almost like a girlfriend type experience in a way, which is just a whole new world.
But also some of the most crazy fetish shit we've ever heard.
And you know Andrea? We don't need to go into that, but you will hear that on one of our Cam Star Spotlights of the Week. I'm not sure which, but let's just say we have a doozy for you.
A doo-doozy.
Yeah, and it left me shocked and speechless.
Yes.
And
You're rarely like that.
Never.
Right.
Never, ever. But we got into some really interesting stuff. We met some really cool girls. Now, when it comes to fetishes, I think that's where a lot of money's made, too. Because where can you get a girl, except for, like, a prostitute, who's going to charge you $2,000-$3,000 to act out some of this weird-ass shit to do some stuff for you?
Well, have you noticed how big foot fetishes and camming, how many guys go there for the foot?
Yeah.
And actually, I've been schooled a little in it because I was trying to think, like...
I've always been curious because I had a boyfriend who was into it, and I've always been like...
Well, what did he think of your feet? Like,
do you want me to... have you seen my feet? They're flawless.
You should have been a foot model.
I've done foot modeling.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what makes a great foot?
Okay. So here's what I've figured out. And every guy has their own preference. My boyfriend, who I asked, said that he likes a bright red polished toe because it's like a sinful candy apple that you just want to put on your mouth and suck on it like a piece of candy.
Wow.
But from what I've heard from very successful glamour foot fetish models, not necessarily cam girls, is they want a high arch. They want a big, beautiful high arch. They also want to see a well-manicured, pedicured rather, foot.
Yeah, you don't want to see jagged nails or anything.
But there are some guys who really like a dirty, smelly foot. And in kind of the vein of foot fetish, the most requested article of clothing that I've been asked for from fans is, can I get your used, smelly workout shoes? And this has not been since I've been a personal trainer.
But you don't have smelly workout shoes anyway.
I mean, I keep my socks fresh, but it's like you either like the really, really pretty foot or you want the dirty, smelly, gnarly foot. So I think what we need to do is, and I don't know if this would be interesting for the listeners, or give us a call. Call the show and leave us a voicemail. And if you're one of these guys, what is it about the feet that you love so much? Because me and Skin, we want to know.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a world, and you and I are the same way. Like, we don't care.
I don't give a fuck about feet.
I don't care what you're into. I'm not offended by it. I'm happy for you. More power to you.
I think whatever makes you happy, do it.
I can't remember in my life a time I saw a naked girl and even have any memory of what her foot looked like.
I'll tell you what, I have, and it's only because the foot was so damn ugly that I was almost appalled. I was like, oh my God, you're so hot with this gargoyle foot. That was the only time it's ever stuck out to me.
You've seen someone with gargoyle foot?
Yeah, I'm talking, imagine a dime piece, like a gorgeous 10 from head to ankle. You know, like a butterface, but a butterfoot.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because she saw me staring at her foot, and I was so embarrassed that I was caught staring at the foot that I was like, oh my God, your feet are so cute. And she knew I was lying, and it made it so awkward.
Yeah, that's bad.
So awkward. Her name was Kelly. I'll never forget. Sorry. But you're beautiful. So they can't all be perfect 10s. But there we go.
But-
some guys like the gargoyle foot. Some guy would want to suck on that gargoyle foot and get off on it. But here's my thing. I'm extremely ticklish. I don't want anyone putting my foot in their mouth because I don't want to kick them with a reflex.
You think? Yeah, I guess I know. Like if someone,
even you doing that, it's doing
rub the bottom of my foot.
Oh God.
That would, like, if you get a pedicure and they're filing the bottom of your foot,
I tell them do the heel only because if you do the arch area,
so you're
I'm a kicker.
Yeah,
it's too much for me.
You don't want to kick.
I don't want to kick the little Vietnamese lady. She's so sweet. Even though I don't know what she's saying behind my back.
You don't mind kicking a Korean guy.
No, I'll kick a Korean guy hard. Not in the nuts, though. You know how I value the nuts.
The nuts are important.
They're precious.
Yeah.
And now it's time for our Cam Star Spotlight of the Week. We have Lexi Bell.
Woohoo!
Hey, gorgeous. So we've been watching you. We're here at AVN, and you have had the longest line we've seen. It's like nonstop party train. How do you handle it?
Oh, I love it. I mean, it's so fun when you love it.
Yeah.
My favorite part about all of this convention stuff is meeting the fans in person, talking and hugging and all that stuff.
It's so funny because you enjoy it, but imagine how much they enjoy it because you have so many fans. They have one you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, you can see it. I joke around that everybody walks so slow here because they just stop in front of the booth and then they pitter-patter feet because they don't want to walk fast.
And I always have to be like, you can come up. Yeah. I don't bite
I know.
you.
It is funny how these guys sometimes seem so shy because they're going to meet their idol and they're like so afraid to approach. And then it's kind of cool.
But it's really clear as an observer, you have a really crazy loyalty. Like your fans love you. So I want to know what keeps them coming back. Give us the Lolo, girl.
I don't know. I mean, I've been in the adult industry forever. I just keep true to myself. I show my personality. I'm like goofy, silly, super sarcastic, like kind of just a hyper little chick. So I think a lot of people relate with me on a normal civilian level.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like a lot of people come up and are like, we listen to the same music, we have the same interests, you remind me of a friend and girl next door. So it's just really, it's awesome that I seem like a more realistic fantasy to them.
But we know it gets kinky too.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about the kinks. Let's talk about the fetishes. What are some of the most requested kinks and fetishes that come your way?
The number one, and I think you could ask any girl, is fucking foot fetish. Those feet. Men love those feet.
Now, it's always perplexed me. Why the feet? What's so erotic about the feet? As an insider, as an expert, what is your knowledge?
Another thing is what makes a good foot? There's two things. Like
people like dirty feet. People like clean feet. Like it fucking
no, but it's
varies.
like flat, arch. Like what is more sexy in the foot world?
I know that good. On
there's
the
so many just like sex positions. There's so many like feet positions. You know, like they want to see your soles. They want you to squish your toes and expand and arch and this and that. And
wow,
I've seen it all. I've done it all, and I still don't really understand it sometimes. But hey, I'm a pleaser. If you like it, I'm gonna do it.
So do guys just really want to watch you kind of work your foot, or do they want to see you like foot job a dildo or like suck a foot? Like what do people want you to do?
It's literally
I'm ignorant.
Across the board. Sometimes they just want you to grab the other girl's foot and just like gently lay it on your cheek.
Okay.
You know, and you're just like, oh, nice foot. Sometimes they do want you to like use your feet and jerk off for like 15 minutes. It's like have you ever tried to jerk a guy off with your feet? Like the insides, like you use this and you go like this.
You're like a monkey, Andrea.
It's
with your feet. Your feet are like monkey feet.
You know that? No, I'm the type of person. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're perfect. So don't try to make people think I have ugly ass
No, I didn't mean ugly. I just meant coordinated.
I can like go across a coffee table and like grab like a grain of rice with like my toe.
Oh my god!
Wow.
And it stemmed from being a stoner in college and laziness, and like I don't want to move, so I just kind of honed that craft. But yeah, I tried to do a foot job a couple times, and I just felt goofy. feet.
Do you ever? It's totally different than foot jobs. But do you ever like pet your cat with your foot?
I have pet animals with my foot.
Yeah, you just like sit on the bed and you just rub your cat. And you're like, yeah,
I know,
win-win.
I do like petting kitties for sure. Have you ever pet a kitty with your foot skin?
No.
Oh, come on.
I'm clumsy with my feet. I'd hurt the cat.
Oh, we don't want to hurt the kitty.
No rice being picked up by my dogs.
All right, well, let's talk about your hot feet.
Okay.
Paint me the picture of your feet. Give us the stats on your feet.
I have, I don't know, they're size 7 feet.
That's right, girl.
They're soft.
How are they pedicured? Are they natural? Are they painted?
They're painted. They're like a nude color right now. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know. I don't like nude toenails. Paint. So
the fans do, or you just try
I don't. Yeah, I usually do a dark color like black or like burgundy, but I went nude, and every time I look at my feet, I hate them.
She doesn't recognize her own feet.
Yeah.
No, but you have very fair, beautiful skin, so I'm sure that contrast when you go dark is super appealing, not only to you visually, but to your fans.
Yeah.
Do you have any freckles on your feet or occlusions we need to know about?
So I always tell people this. I'll tell you guys.
Yes.
If I'm ever murdered or anything, you need to identify my body.
Okay.
I have the cutest little freckle on the inside of my toe. But it's like the only way you could see is you have to spread the toes and like, oh my God, look at that little freckle.
I'm not going to lie, they did sound kind of hot.
Yeah,
you have to spread the toes.
I get it.
Damn, girl, you are something else, and you've been doing this a long time. Tell everyone where they can find you, who your favorite cam site is. Give us everything.
Cherry Pimps.
That's right.
They do live shows all the time, and I love shooting with them. It's so fun to be in a chat room with all your fans while you're getting down. So Cherry Pimps is where it's at.
And if you like having foot play, you have a queen of it right here. All right. Thanks, Lexi.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Lexi.
Bye.
All right, Andrea, will you tell us more about our sponsor today?
I would love to. They are VRSexcams.xxx, and they've created a huge list of the amazing virtual reality sites out there that rank and categorizes them to make it easy to find, especially what you're looking for before you pop on those VR goggles. So Paul, he's this guy who calls himself a sex site concierge, and I love him because he literally does all the dirty work himself. It's like, what a tough job. Like, he's a self-appointed, like, I'm going to get in there and do that. And he even adds detailed reviews and photos with each listing. So aside from getting in there and doing it, he does work that's really valuable, and he loves VR, and he lets you really get into the action, whether you want to be part of a scene or really feel like you're having sex with your favorite cam girl. So if you want to check out the amazing list of sites that he's compiled, head over to vrpornsites.xxx. Again, that's vrpornsites.xxx. I'll tell you, Skin, I just put on my first pair of VR glasses for the first time.
Oh, I've done it with porn. It's freaking crazy.
Oh, wait. Whoa. Okay, I was like flying over the fucking Sahara. Now, I was like, I don't see what the big fucking deal is. It's like Google Earth. Who cares? Tell me what it's like when you're up in the action.
Well, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago I was here at the show, and the virtual reality glasses
when it was popping, yeah.
Yeah. And they had me sit down in a chair, and you put the glasses on, and you could see like 360 all around, and all these naked girls are coming at you, and it's pretty.
Now, were you putting your hands out and squeezing the air?
No, because I knew I was doing virtual reality glasses. So, but just it's a cool sensation. Now, when the day comes where, you could have like
a sex robot connected to your dick.
Yeah, the whole thing. Then you're,
I'm sure they already have that. Don't you think?
Yeah, but is the sex robot? It's got to be equal to a woman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's blow-up dolls. Remember, was it last year when we saw those incredible...
Yes, it was.
...dolls? They put so much time and effort into the...
Dude, I fingered one.
Yeah, I did too. Unfortunately, everyone at AVN show did too.
I know.
You had to make sure you get the Purell out after that,
Dude,
right?
I took a Purell fucking bath after that.
Yeah.
I was just like,
but you had to feel. I had to feel what was inside there.
I had to know, and it actually gave me hope. I was like, okay, I'm not too far off from what they think is perfection. But that's my biggest concern as a female. Obviously, I'm not the jealous type. I let I engage in threesomes and whatever else, but my concern is, what if they make these sex dolls so incredible, so willing to do things that I can't do? I can't do a back bend, for Christ's sake, or take a pile driver for more than 30 seconds. I'm going to break my neck. What if they become so awesome that we become obsolete?
Well, let me flip it.
Yeah.
What if you could get a sex guy that could do what you want? You know?
I didn't even think about that.
Right.
Because
But
they
here's
don't
the
put that on the fucking
That's
news.
why, right?
Put that on CNN.
Right. That's why Westworld is such a cool show.
Yeah. I know we
is-
love Westworld.
Well, it's the best show for nudity on television right now. But
hell yeah.
But it's like, if this is the future, of course. But where the girls are robots, but you can't tell the difference between a robot and a real woman.
See, that's what scares
Do
me.
you think someday that? Yeah. Of course.
Sophia can fuck.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
We know. It's like she can do everything else and think and whatever. But I never thought about it in terms of a man. So it comes back to that need for cuddling, for body heat, for connection, soul to soul.
Yeah.
But at the same point, I don't know. Maybe I do just need a body. Maybe it doesn't need
Well, yeah.
unanswered questions.
But I do think, okay, so let's say Westworld did exist in real life.
I think it
I'd
does.
go with
I think
two
we
or
just don't
I'd
know
go
about
with
it.
2 or 3 at once. Like, I do the stuff that you can't do in real life.
But then does it lessen real life? It's like, oh God, here's that one again. That's what scares me.
All right.
That's what intimidates me as a woman who is very hard to be intimidated. Like, really. But you know what? F it. I know me. I'd probably want to jump in there. I'd say, babe, if you want to do 5 robots, I'm getting in there and I'm having fun too.
Yeah.
If you want to do the bots,
You're
I gotta be involved.
You're not a bystander.
No. Not at all.
You like to join in.
It's just, I want to know, are they going to be able to self-lubricate? Are they
Oh,
going,
yeah. How do they... How do robots...
And it's
I'm
so
sure.
funny because I think I would maintain almost my threesome rules. Like, you need to finish.
Oh, yeah.
with
What are
me.
your threesome rules?
No internal combustions in someone else. That is sacred. That seed is mine.
Okay.
It's not. You're not finishing in someone else.
Okay, but...
You can finish on someone else, but
Okay.
you're not doing it in.
But you'd
someone else.
allow penetration into someone else, but you wouldn't allow finishing.
Yeah, I mean to me. What if there's a baby involved? Like, what if there? And I just feel like when you're married, it's like you got to keep something between the married couple, like to keep it sacred.
No, okay, I'm fine. I mean,
that's pretty much my only rule.
it's funny.
She can't be ugly.
I could draw up all the rules I want. It won't matter
No.
because
Here's
I'm not
my
lucky
thing, too.
enough to get into that world.
I have to pick her out. Because honestly, I don't want to even know what you want. Like, I would,
Oh, okay.
because that would make me feel some type of way.
No, see, this is all good stuff.
I need to pick her out. It has to be my idea. I'm leading it, and that's what's up. It has to be from me.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
No, that's good to know. Andrew, you're the greatest wife ever.
Thanks, dear. I think for my... Oh, God, I really hope my mom never listens to this. I think for
if your
my...
mom's listening to the Mr. Skin podcast,
Dude, she
something's
Googles
wrong
me.
with the world.
She Googles me.
Okay.
For my wedding night, I think we had a 3-way.
Did you really?
I swear, man. It's all kind of a blur.
Yeah, and where did that happen? In Vegas, right?
Well,
see, all the shit, man. All the shit
That's
happened
why
in
I get
Vegas.
scared when I come here, because
Yeah.
I know anything's possible. I come with these own kind of rules for myself. I'm coming to work. I'm going to bed early. But you know what? You've seen me. I've already run into quite a few friends.
That is. I should mention, Andrea.
Oh, man.
Andrea is an industry veteran.
Insider.
An insider. People know her. Like, I'm sitting here. So many people in this industry know Andrea from, all your years with Playboy and all the other
Playboy,
stuff
it's crazy.
you did.
And it's not even that. Like, we ran into Pauly Shore.
Yeah. Who was...
Oh, my God. Okay, I'll say
How many
this.
sheets to the wind?
3. Now, Pauly and I actually... Oh, my God. Fucking Vegas again. He does not live here, by the way. Me and Pauly filmed a Showtime special once called Pauly Shore, Vegas is My Oyster. And after we filmed that, we became really good friends. And Pauly is notorious, you guys might not know this, for taking really good care of himself. He dedicates himself to sweating every day. Like, he does some sort of physical exercise. He juices. He gets facials, and not the cum kind. Like, he actually goes to an esthetician.
Really?
Like, he takes really good care of himself. I saw him today. And you did too.
Yeah, I
He
did
looked
too.
fucked up.
Yeah.
I was like, Polly, you look like shit, bro.
What did he say to you?
I'm not. He's
was he
like,
pissed?
he could. It's like he didn't even hear me. I could have
really?
said anything, and then all he wanted to do was invite me to his birthday party next week, which I'm going to, by the way. It's like
Is that in L.A.?
Anytime I can get a good Polly story, I'll
Yeah.
take it. And
How old is Paulie?
I probably 50.
Is he really?
I would guess.
Wow.
I would guess. I mean, CP the EP. Can you Google that for us, please?
No, I'm sure he's
I would
around,
like the
yeah.
official word, though.
Well, you would know, though, if you're invited to his birthday. If it's a 50, that's a big... To
Maybe
me,
that's
50,
why I'm invited.
50 is the biggest birthday of all birthdays.
Yeah.
I think 50 is the big... Name a bigger birthday than 50.
18?
No.
16.
No.
12. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, 12. Ooh, 12.
Mitzvah.
Yeah.
No, 50. It has to be 50.
50
and
is
then
the-
100. If you make it to
Yeah.
100, that's the big one. But at that point, you can't even really enjoy
Right.
it.
Nobody's enjoying a 100th birthday. You're all like worried the guy's going to die at the birthday party.
What's
so.
the word?
It's 49.
Wow.
Oh,
So you're
49.
invited to Pauly Shore's 49.
Okay, I don't feel so special anymore. 'Cause it's-
No, but the fact that you're invited.
But it's so funny because Pauly, he and I have always had a flirtatious relationship. And he's like, hey, so come to my party next week. And I kind of look at him like, okay. One of those type of looks, like not super overexcited, but sure, okay, if I'm in town. And he's like, oh, and you can bring your dude.
Ah, that's funny.
I'm like, I was planning on it. So he always has to throw that in because he knows I'm going to be with my hubby.
Yeah.
We have a very bizarre relationship. he
That's
and
all
I.
right. But hey, you're no, that's cool. That was I think I'm trying to think. Was that the biggest celeb I've seen today so far?
Celebrity, non-adult has to be. Because you know what?
We won't be seeing Ron Jeremy at the show this year.
Why not?
He's banned.
Wait. Whoa. Breaking skin news. Tell me. I don't know any details.
There's just because of some ethics thing.
Why? Does he have a...
There was some...
Does he have something?
Well, I guess there's been some allegations against him that caused him to be banned from the show this year. And
Okay.
hopefully he'll be back next year. But it is weird to be at AVN and Ron Jeremy's not here.
Here's the thing. As you know, I too know Ron Jeremy very, very, very well. We not only lived in a house together for a month.
Did you really?
On the Surreal Life, man. We
Oh,
were,
yeah,
Oh
I
my
thought-
God,
yeah.
that was in Vegas too. Fuck, I've been
See?
in Vegas too many times. So we did a reality show where we had to live in a house together, and you're trapped. There's no books, there's no magazines, there's no fucking clocks. All you have is human interaction.
Really?
Because what makes for good TV? Not people sitting on
Yeah.
the couch reading magazines.
Give me your, refresh me on all the people.
Vanilla Ice, Mini Me. I mean, I don't even remember Emmanuel Lewis, China the Wrestler. I mean, you
Jeez,
name it.
Freak Show.
I mean, Freak Show, and me. I'm like Robin Leach.
And Ron Jeremy was there.
And Ron Jeremy. And since then, that was a little over a decade ago, we've remained really good friends. And I will say, every time we've gone out, he has this move where he tries to lick my neck from the back. And I think, he kind of does that to anyone. He even did it to my sister. And I think if he's doing that to girls, I could see why he'd be banned, because
in this day and age,
not everyone's open to that.
No.
And it's like he sometimes needs to separate, you're a porn star when you're on set being paid, but not everyone wants to be licked, especially on the neck, by a guy who hasn't showered in a week. Because Ron does this thing. I feel like I'm just spilling the tea today.
I'm all ears.
Ron does this thing where he just puts baby powder down his track pants. Haven't you noticed? He kind of is gray around the crotch area whenever you see him.
No, I haven't noticed, but thank you.
Yeah, that's his move. He keeps it fresh.
That is how about a shower?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think so. But the official Ron Jeremy uniform is the black T-shirt, the black track pants, the gray crotch area from the white powder on the inside,
No
and
shit.
black Crocs.
Really?
And he's been rocking that for 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't believe he's banned. I can't believe it. But I get it. Because
Yeah.
the licking is not
No, you can't be.
warranted.
No licking. No licking in 2018.
You gotta lick it before you stick it, but not here at AVN. Behind closed doors and with consent.
So, Andrea, I was thinking, for the Mr. Skin podcast, I always have a list, so we're always talking about nudity in movies or television, the latest stuff. And I thought, since we're at AVN, I put together a little list for you. Just a couple of
I love it.
my favorite porn stars and why they're my favorites. And I know you're going to know these girls, or most of them, but let's talk. One girl that I really love is Janine Lindemann.
Oh, Skin. She's my favorite. That's all you had to say.
Well,
I've been obsessed with her since 1996. I don't even know.
Well, right. Well, she started. People don't know this about her. A lot of people don't. She started in mainstream films.
I did,
but she was
not
in
know
B-movie,
that.
crappy movies. I mean, she was even in a movie called Caged Fury from 1990, which had Eric Estrada was in the movie.
Wow.
So she was that's where her career was going, and then she ended up in porn, and I
wonder how that happens. Like, if someone just wants to get fucked on camera, or if, you know what I mean?
Well, we're talking about Janine Lindemann here. So, and then early in her career, she got pregnant. And once she got pregnant, she said, no more dudes. And she became the all-time, she's known just as the girl-on-girl porn star. She's the legend when it comes to that.
She's the biggest and the best, and there's no topping her, never, ever.
Yeah, I mean, Where the Boys Aren't series is probably her biggest, but Blondage is another one. But do you remember, too, the other thing about her, which was weird, is tattoos. Now you see girls, we've been interviewing girls today with tons of tattoos and stuff.
Now it's weird when you see a girl in the world that doesn't have one.
In the 90s, though, it was weird to see tattoos in porn.
It was almost, you couldn't get hired in movies if you had tattoos, because that wasn't the look people were going for. I even know as a model, the reason I got so much work was because I didn't have any tattoos.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You see a tattoo back then, you could lose the gig, you know? So it was big deal when she would have all those tattoos. You know?
I think where people would really know her from, if for some sick reason Where the Boys Aren't, or the name Janine is not ringing a bell, she was the hot, naughty vixen nurse snapping that glove on with the sleeve tattooed arm on the cover of the Blink 182 album. That's where I first saw her in my entire life, and it was one of those things where your life changes, kind of when you see your first adult magazine.
It's an iconic, it's an iconic.
I want to be you when I grow up. I love you, and there was something so erotic about it, and I think that kind of mainstream work too almost paved the way for more tattoos in the industry.
Yeah,
in a way, I don't know, but
she was groundbreaking. Yeah, I mean, another porn star that we should discuss on the show that I think is, legendary, groundbreaking, is Sasha Grey. Remember her? Yeah, she was huge. If you look at her career, she was big from 2006 to about 2010 in porn. But then she crossed over, where she was in the movie The Girlfriend Experience, and
which
then
is now
Entourage.
I know.
Where she was Adrian Grenier's boyfriend, and she walked into the the pool full frontal. She had the big bush. I thought it was one of the hottest TV nude scenes ever. But
100%.
Yeah, and she had that smirk-like smile. She was a sexy girl.
Super sexy, super fearless. She brought into porn, and I'm not sure how I feel about this trend, but a much more aggressive style of porn.
Yeah.
But thank you, humanity, she brought the bush back. I will say, Sasha Grey single-handedly brought bush back.
All right, I'm gonna quote you on that.
Yeah, girls.
My next book.
Girls stopped getting lasered when Sasha came out, because they're like, oh, is Bush coming back?
Yeah.
So I think the trend we're seeing more with girls even having a landing strip or more is really because of Sasha Grey. She made it hot. She made guys like it again, because guys were so used to seeing the shaved kitty. That's all they wanted.
Yeah.
But once
I was never one of them.
I know.
Yeah.
But once she made it hot to the youth, to the young kids again, the next generation, it made it more acceptable.
Well, I have two other porn stars here as we're at the AVN show that I think are legendary and my favorite, and I'm going to group them together because they're from roughly the same era, but also the same type of body. Christy Canyon, who you know, and Kay Parker, who you might not remember because she's a little older. She is probably best known for the taboo, the taboo movies where she was a woman who had sex with her own son.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, but it's legendary. It's from the early 80s, Taboo. Kate Parker and Chrissy Canyon, gorgeous natural women, big natural boobies.
Yes.
And two of my favorite porn stars, Chrissy Canyon's in the AVN Hall of Fame. She's been in over 100
She's
films.
huge,
You've met
man.
her.
Yeah.
She used to host night calls on Sirius.
That's
so
right.
You know all about
That's
her
right.
for Playboy.
Yep.
Yeah, so she's cool. Did you know her well?
I mean, not well, but we always cross each other in the hall. She totally let me play with her titties. They're amazing.
Those were, yeah.
And she's a really smart person.
Yeah. Intelligent.
She's quick. Now, I want to ask you about this whole taboo thing. So, obviously, mom having sex with her son is clearly crazy. How much into storyline are male viewers? Because I, as a female, I don't give a shit about storyline. I don't want to see a storyline.
See, but you're in the minority for females because I think females care in general more about storyline.
I am like storyline, schmoryline, fast forward to the good stuff.
But see, you're like a guy in that regard.
I am. I
think
totally
guys are more into just the visual of the pounding.
But I find that there's so much storyline still. Like, why aren't they just doing the close-up shot?
Well, that's called amateur porn or homemade porn or tube sites or whatever. It's like, if storylines were big, very big in the 70s and 80s.
Right.
And you're right. As time's gone on, it's not the same. But I don't know. I'd like to know, like, if this is a cuckold thing, or if I like to know what's going on. It's more exciting for me.
Yeah, I have no idea if the scenario, because for me too, as someone who's been in movies and TV and stuff, I'm so turned off by the bad acting that I actually just want to see the fucking.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't even want to see the horrible script and.
No, that makes sense. I get it. And it's like, listen.
But the pizza guy thing, I mean, so played out. Or like the stranger, the construction guy. It's like, just get to the good stuff.
Yeah, okay. I got you. There's, I wanted to mention something that, if we're talking about porn stars, I was looking at our website, actually this morning before I came on the floor, and I looked up, because we were doing AVN, the most searched porn star right now at MrSkin.com.
Okay. So when I think MrSkin.com, big search.
Well, and listen, and you got to understand, like, obviously we're not a porn site, but a lot of porn stars have crossed over into mainstream, so they're at our website.
I'm like, who?
There is one right now that is actually in the top 20 searched actresses at our site, including all the big names, mainstream actresses. And when you hear the name, you're going to understand why.
Okay.
She's in the news big time right now.
The news? Because I'm thinking, what porn star has gone mainstream and who's in a movie? So I'm thinking someone like Sasha Grey or whatever. But right now, I have no idea who's in the news.
She's huge right now. Stormy Daniels.
Oh, yes. And we had the lovely pleasure of interviewing her at length, I should say, last year at last year's AVN. Maybe we should maybe run
I pointed out to her that
rerun.
She, of course, she was nude in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
That's right. She has crossed over,
but
too.
But also nude in a little movie called Knocked Up.
That's right.
Yeah, so Stormy Daniels, so near and dear to my heart. Absolutely. From Knocked Up and everything else. And then this whole thing with Trump, she is so searched right now. She's huge, and she's really revitalized her career with all this stuff. And
I mean, it's not a bad PR play at the very least.
No.
You know?
No. I heard Howard Stern was talking about on his show that back when this all went down, a number of years ago.
I like the way you said down.
Yeah, she was trying to come on the show.
On his show.
To talk about this.
Our show.
No.
She was begging to get on our show.
Trying to talk about this on Howard's show, and Howard said no, because at the time Trump wasn't president, and it was like, if they had consensual sex,
who cares?
I'm not here to. Who cares? And that's how I feel. If two people have consensual sex, no problem. Now, obviously that the game's changed, and to make, with the payoff and everything else. But Howard was like, I'm not going to have her on. So it's interesting, but I got to tell you, as far as searches at our website, off the hook. But let me tell you.
Tell me everything.
In the history of porn, the number one most famous porn star of all time without question, has to be Jenna Jameson.
Absolutely.
She's
Not
a
only is she
superstar.
crossed over, but she didn't even need to cross over. Jenna Jameson is a household name. Like,
Yeah.
my mom knows who Jenna Jameson is.
Right. Well,
It's like,
I mean, she was in the movie Private Parts.
that's what I'm saying. It's like crazy.
Made money on the web, made money as a porn star.
Producer, like, just,
Yeah.
I would say, one of the biggest enterprisers of this business, of this industry. I mean, she's done so much as far as branding and the whole Club Jenna thing. And I mean, it's just absolutely bananas how much she's been able to do.
Yeah. So I would have to say, because I even did, I actually, I don't know if you remember this, I was the host of a show on Showtime
Yeah,
that
I do know.
counted down the most famous porn stars of all time, and we had Ron Jeremy and Jenna Jameson as the most famous porn stars, so without question. So anyway, well, Andrea.
Yes, Ken.
As we sit here at AVN, and there's still a line in front, and the line is not to get to the Mr. Skin podcast. The line is to get down to all the hot cam girls and porn stars down at Cherry Pimps.
That's right.
Yeah, but
it's still moving though. It's not like it's stagnating.
No,
it's flowing. Every time I look over, it's a completely new crowd because it keeps lining up, and it's so weird because I'm like, I hope they can't hear me. Some of these guys come in groups of friends, and I'm like, I don't know about you, but if I was going to see my favorite porn star, it'd be a solo mission.
I also got to say, Andrea,
go with my friends.
I think a lot of these guys, you know how they can afford this? Because they don't spend any money on girlfriends.
That's right. There's no flowers. There's no candy. There's no sushi pre-fuck dinner. It's like
there's lots of extra money laying around because they're not taking anyone out to dinner. But anyway,
rent free in their mom's basement.
Yeah, and it's an interesting crowd, but I got to say, it is an amazing event.
No, we love this event. I love to make fun of it because we're a part of it. You know, there's a reason we come back. It's not only amazing people watching, but we really do love and appreciate all people in this industry.
And I'm not one to knock my mom's basement.
Hell no.
Where do you think I learned all the Mr. Skin stuff?
Your mom's basement.
Yes. If I didn't have my mom's basement, I wouldn't be here. Maybe I would. Maybe I'd be in line.
Aspirational for all these guys.
Well, I'm aspirational for sure. But anyway, all right. So, Andrea.
Yes, Skin.
We still have. We're going to wrap the show up.
Okay.
But you and I have a lot of interviewing of cam girls and porn stars to go today. So
we do, and our listeners are going to just be thrilled what they're going to hear on these Cam Star spotlights of the week as the weeks go on, because we've gotten some amazing content.
I
will tell you, I will, pretty much say this as someone who's done interviews, almost half of my life. We got some of the most incredible interviews. You will not hear the content and the things that we got anywhere but this show right here.
Yes.
The Mr. Skin podcast is where you are going to hear exclusive, never before heard content that people really are only comfortable sharing with us.
Yes. It's something. We're able to get it out of those cam girls. They like to share that fetish stuff with us.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. So this has been fun. I honestly don't even want to stop talking because I'm having such a good time.
Yeah.
But
people zone out in podcasts after a certain amount of time.
It's
so
true.
I think we've hit that number.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, we love you guys. We're at AVN 2018, the Mr. Skin podcast. Have a great one, and we'll see you again next week.
Take care, Andrea.
This concludes another scintillating episode of the Mr. Skin Podcast. Subscribe to the Mr. Skin Podcast in iTunes and never miss a show. Thanks for listening.